People who are 40 plus and happy with their life, what is your advice to people in their 20s? Don't fall for the trap that your life needs to be one long narrative that you should be building. Life is best when it's a bunch of happy moments that just happen to be connected. Don't try to make your life into a novel, make it a book of poems. I needed this. Thank you. I always compare my life to a movie, and it stresses the hell out of me because reality is never like it, but I guess this is life after all. Chris Rock said it best, now, people tell you life is short. No, it's not. Life is long. Especially if you make the wrong decisions. What I also take away from this, life feels short if you're actually living and having a good time. Conversely, if you're miserable and stuck in life, life feels never ending and you're only waiting till it gets dark forever. It's never too late to start again. All in my 20s I thought I couldn't just restart my career or dump a useless boyfriend or go back to school because I was already on a certain trajectory. Made my choices, now I gotta make the best of it. That's total bullshit. You have no idea how incredibly young you are and how much time you have to do whatever you want to do. When I figured this out, I found the man of my dreams, had a kid in my late 30s. Dropped my entire career in my late 40s and starting a new one at 50, and it's awesome. This is good advice. I'm 40 and have reset twice. Starting something new can be scary, but very rewarding. I left a job last year for a different company and am so glad that I did. I took a pay cut for a quality of life improvement. I've been much happier and my stress levels are pretty non-existent. When I was in college, I had the chance to go to Europe, but I passed because I had to work at a warehouse. I picked staying at a part-time warehouse job over seeing the world. When I finally went abroad in my 30s, it changed my perspective about everything and everyone. Go to another country that is far away and different than your own. Crising COVID-19. It won't last forever. I'm 46, and here's what I know. Money is important, but it's not the end all be all. It will not listen to your problems or hug you when you need it. Watch your weight, your blood pressure, and do not smoke. 75% of my patients that have the most serious diagnosis have at least one of these factors. Comparison will rob you of joy. Be happy for others. Chase your dreams. Life goes by so fast. You don't want to be 80 years old and regretting not traveling, pursuing your passion, etc. You cannot change someone. Whether a friend or a partner, their faults will not get better, and you cannot rescue them. Don't waste your life on toxic people. Make a point of performing kind acts for others. It will greatly enrich your life. Now, go get your life. Take care of your teeth. This is the only set you're ever going to have, and you don't want to neglect them and mess them up like I did. I've got crap tons of fillings which don't last forever and need replacement. A filling isn't as good as the real thing, and filled teeth can break, requiring crowns. I have two and it sucks. Brush and floss thoroughly every single day without exception. Hell, get an electric toothbrush. See the dentist regularly. Ditch the sugary drinks. Yep. I always thought I had great teeth. I went for a checkup, got a regrade, shit was tight. I put off going for anything, checkup, cleanings, etc. for 4 years. Next appointment? Root canal. Apparently my molar was so bad I should been in constant pain at some point. Honestly, I never felt a thing. No pain since my prior appointment. I also had to get a filling done. That sucked way worse than the root canal. Root canals are relatively painless until you get the bill. When I was 22, an older gentleman asked me how old I was and then told me, Chad 303, when you are twice that age, you'll be twice the man you are today. I almost considered it a slight in that moment, but time has proven him wise. Here I am, twice that age, and, in my humble estimation, twice the man than I was then. I believe this, chiefly because I have learned that kindness is not a weakness, humility serves you better than pride, and cruelty is a fool's game. Relax more. Don't get angry over little things. Relax and don't get overly angry. While others talk about material things or experiences, the real lesson is to accept that things won't always go the way you want them to, and that's okay. Didn't marry your perfect spouse? That person doesn't exist. Align expectations to reality and appreciate those who love you for who they are. Or find new people. Didn't buy the perfect car? Oh, well, it still gets you where you're going. Define your criteria for the next one and work towards it. Didn't get the perfect house? Probably not. But it's yours, and you can fix it. Didn't get that promotion? Don't be so sure it would have worked out the way you think it would have. Vacation wasn't perfect? Are you sure about that, or were your expectations too high? Point is, relax, enjoy the ride, work to your goals, but remember none of it matters if you can't enjoy it along the way. I'm in my 30s and my new motto is to lower my expectations. I find my general disappointment comes from expecting things to be a certain way instead of being realistic and rolling with life's changes. It's not a race. Stop comparing yourself to others. Just because they did things sooner than you doesn't mean they're happier or better. Try to start good habits. It is a little rough at first, but in a few years it will be second nature. Do this with things like cooking, cleaning, saving money and self-care. It is okay to not like someone. It is also okay to have someone not like you. People are going to not like you for no reason. That is okay. It's a them issue and not a you issue. Don't be an ass to everyone and give them reason to dislike you, but also know that you are under no obligation to put up with someone else's bad friendship. There is no shame in seeing a mental health professional. I agree, life's not a checklist. Don't try to live under other people's expectations. I grew up with girls who thought they had figured out the path to happiness. Graduate high school at 18, marry high school sweetheart at 20, graduate college at 22, have a baby at 24, finish master's degree at 25, have more babies at 26 and 28, complete the PhD before 30. Keep a new Mercedes and BMW in the garage, and vacation on a private Hawaiian beach twice a year. Be a sexy grandma at 50. It was craziness. To accomplish anything less than this was to be a total failure at life. Some of these girls were in constant competition with each other for years. Who got a better GPA? Who has the biggest engagement ring? Whose baby started walking first? Who has a flashier car? Who can still wear their high school cheerleader uniform to arouse the husband when he comes home exhausted from working his high-powered job, never realizing that they were miserable. Their plans for a perfect life left no time to live. Running yourself into the ground is no way to live. And even if everything could go exactly as planned, then what? Everything you get becomes something you have. Learn how to be happy having things instead of getting them. This is true. I bought a very big piece of exercise equipment, 6-post power rack, and I just sold it, even though I loved the thing. I sold it because I realized I was paying rent on it that far exceeded the cost of just selling it and buying it back later when I could actually afford to keep it. It was becoming a burden and restricting my options in life, and I wanted the flexibility back. While I had it, I was paying to store it and move it when traveling, paying increased rent to put it in my garage, etc. In a way, everything you own ends up owning you. Make sure it is all meaningful and worth keeping around. I was a raging alcoholic in my 20s and thought I would never recover from it. I never found a real job using my first degree or my master's. Part of it was because I was always drunk. Part of it was the job market at the time. I went back to school in my 30s and found something I like a whole lot more. Now, I'm married, nearly 10 years sober, and have a great job. My point is, if you end up on the wrong path, or don't like where you are, there's always time to turn around and change it. Too many people just assume they are stuck where they are, and stuck with the issues they have. This is so important. Thank you for the reminder. I'm glad you were able to turn things around. This reminds me of the quote. I hope you live a life you're proud of, and if you find that you're not, I hope you have the strength to start all over again. Don't put yourself in ridiculous amounts of debt trying to portray a certain image. You'll spend your entire life trying to get out of the hole you dug, or you'll have to declare bankruptcy. Set aside enough money to cover 3 to 6 months of expenses for emergencies just like now. Moreover, save now for your retirement years. It doesn't require much, and if you have it taken directly from your paycheck you won't be inclined to not pay yourself first. Take care of your body. Exercise to maintain a healthy weight and good cardiovascular health. As you get older, it's much harder to maintain these. Enjoy the days of your youth without going overboard. There is nothing wrong with having a good time, yet if you are always waking up wondering what happened last night, why you can't remember how you spent so much money, or you always have a hangover, you should tone it down a bit. Don't take advice or criticism as a personal attack. Most times the people who care about you have observed behavior in you which is off-putting, doesn't reflect who you really are, or could be, or would make you a more rounded person. Once you get over the need to impress others, it's not only freeing financially, it's so freeing emotionally as well. Live life for you. People aren't nearly as concerned with what you have and what you do as you think they are. Maintain your friendships. In 20 years you will be so grateful for those people who saw you through marriages, children, illness and health. People who will go for a trip with you, love your kids, remember you as a young person. Friends are essential, but they require work. Don't be alone, just because you don't want to be the person who reaches out to others. I'm nearly 40, and not very happy with my life. My advice for people in their 20s would be to focus on the important stuff. That's where I failed. Don't put off life. That's where I also failed. I focused on building a solid financial base and saving a ton of money. Here I'm at 40, and I'm financially secure probably for life. If I lost my job I could flip burgers and live the same lifestyle I've been living. But I also have no one in life. If I was abducted by aliens today it'd be days or weeks before anyone missed me. No one on the entire planet really knows me. I get gifts from my family for Christmas or my birthday or whatever, and it's stuff that relates to things I enjoyed as a small child because that's how they know me. I never pursued any relationships for the past 20 years because I was focused on financial stuff. I can't recall the last time I went on a vacation that wasn't visiting my grandparents. At my age I will probably never be married and will probably never be a father like I want to be. I'd give up all the financial security and career success I have to have someone I love here in quarantine with me. I ducked up my life and I know it. Don't ignore relationships. Homie, if you're financially secure and know what you want, go get that thing now. Who cares that you're 40? It sounds like his depression is talking. 40 doesn't mean life is over. Hell, it's not even halfway there yet. And even if it is, that's still an entire life of time that he's already spent in which he can redefine everything. That's fucking amazing. I'm 40 years old, and I have 3 pieces of advice for anyone in their 20s. Accept that perfection doesn't exist. Your relationships will have problems, your car will break down, someone else will anyways have a better phone, a newer car, or a bigger house than you, no matter where on the social ladder you stand. Constantly chasing perfection will keep you permanently stressed. That doesn't mean you should not try to better your life, just know that, if you expect perfection you will never be satisfied. Pay attention to your diet and health. I have been working out at least 4 times per week since my mid-20s. I'm fitter, healthier and look younger than almost everyone else my age. Don't stop doing the things you love. Even though I have a wife, kids, job, etc. I still make time to play video games, draw, write stories, read comics, play basketball, listen to music, etc. There is no reason to become a miserable old bastard. Don't let anyone tell you you're too old to enjoy something. We all grow out of hobbies, but the things that give you joy now will very possibly always give you joy. Don't forget that feeling. And sure, when you get married and start a family, you're not going to have the time for all night gaming anymore, but that doesn't mean you can't do your hobbies at all. Or even start new ones. When I was mid-30s and knee-deep in a couple of toddlers, I decided I wanted to learn how to draw. I really needed something for me, and a pencil and paper were easy to put down if I had to kiss any boo-boos or feed my kids. This has led to a bunch of different art mediums, stained glass, linocuts, papercraft, and a source of joy, accomplishment, curiosity, and friendships for me.